Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My greetings to all of you out there. Out here, it's white out. We've had about 9 inches of snow. The temperature is -4. You might say that is cold, but before the snow came, it was -17, the minimum one night, and then it was an average of about -11. So -4 is kind of warm. I want to talk to you a little bit about working from home, and this is because several friends of mine asked me to talk about that. According to them, I am the world's expert on working from home because I've been doing that from 1994 onwards, when I set up my company, Yavar Beg and Associates in Bangalore, and I decided that I did not need an office. I didn't need to go to an office to work. All my meetings were always in the client's premises or where I wanted to do it somewhere else. Usually we would go to a nice restaurant and we would talk over coffee or over lunch. And so I never needed an office. And I have done extremely well with it. I love working from home. And as you can see, I have not allowed that to be harmful for me in any way. I'm saying that specifically because it can also be harmful for you if you don't do some important things. Now, what is the first thing to understand? The first thing to understand is that it is your home, it's not a prison. Meaning that the door is not locked from outside. You can go out, you should go out. Don't get stuck to your desk. Don't get stuck to your space. Get up, walk around, leave the house, go out, go for a walk, go for a run, do gardening if you can. Even if you live in an apartment, grow plants, flowers, vegetables on your balcony, roof garden. Just imagine possibilities. Have a pet, take your pet for a walk, whatever, but remember, it's your home. It is not a prison. Very, very important. Number 2 is the other side of it, which is that when you're working from home, treat that work time and that work space as a workspace, not as home. So your home is a home, it's not a prison. At the same time, your home is not a home, it's your office when you are in your workspace, in your work time. Now, what does that mean? That means 3 things. First and foremost, especially in today's day, be grateful. Be grateful and thank Allah that you have a home and you have work. So those of you who are complaining about working from home, it's high time to become thankful and say, I'm very thankful that I have a home and I have work. Second thing is specific time, which is work time, and specific space, which is workspace. This is very, very important. So what must you do? Set the time. Whatever the time is, whatever suits you, whatever works for you is good. It's not, I am an early morning person, you might not be, no problem. There is no sanctity to any particular time of the day. Whatever works for you, works for you. How many hours should you be in your workspace? Once again, depends on your kind of work and what you need to do. But when you are in that work time, whether it's 8 a.m., whether it's 8 p.m., whether it is, whatever time of the day or the night, that time you are in your workspace and you must ensure that you are not disturbed, you are not distracted, either by your messaging systems or by your telephone or by anybody else in the house. This must be sacrosanct time that is not for anyone to disturb you in. Same thing for workspace is make your workspace, dress for work and go and sit in that workspace. What you are seeing is my workspace. And what you are seeing me dressed in is one of the ways that I dress when I am at work. My dress sometimes changes because of the kind of work I do, so I wear different things. But my point is that whatever you do, you must definitely not walk into your workspace in your pajamas or your lungi or something in rubber slippers. No. Treat it respectfully. Just imagine if you actually went to work in an office, no matter how informal the office was, they would not allow you to come to work in your pajamas. And if they did, then there's something seriously wrong with that office. So very importantly, treat that space and treat that time with respect. Then what you do is, when you come into your workspace, every single day, make a list of 3 things to do, 3 tasks that you need to complete in that day in order of priority. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Every day. You must not start your day unless you have your 3 things in order of priority written down. Point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, task 1, task 2, task 3. They must be written down, and I am very, very rigid about this, because if you don't write it down, you're not serious about it. So make sure you write it down. Then start on the first task, complete it. Do not go to the second task until you complete the first task. Start on the first task, complete it, then go to the second task, complete it, and then go to the third. If you get interrupted, complete that task before you go to the next one. At the end of the day, take a clean white sheet of paper and write down on it what you accomplished on that day. Again, very important. The sheet of paper you can keep as like a diary. So you have it date-wise, and you can cross-reference it if you like and say what happened on this day and so on and so forth. So make sure that you start the day with 3 tasks in order of priority, and you end the day with a work assessment or achievement assessment for that day. Next morning, do not put any leftover task from the previous day as number 1 on day 2, because for all you know, that task may not be relevant on the next day. For example, if your task 3 for today was to visit your friend in hospital, he may have been discharged, she may have gone home, right? So simply having that by default as your number 1 task the following day, because you were not able to complete it the previous day, makes no sense. So every day's list must be made true for that day in order of priority for that day. So by all means, a task of the previous day may come as the number 1 task on the following day, but it's not coming there mindlessly by default. It is coming there because you thought about that and you decided that's where it should be. Right? You got that clear? Day begins with 3 tasks and day ends with your assessment for that day. Every single day, this is how your day must begin. This is how your day must end. This is the discipline of working from home, which will ensure that you become and you remain a very productive person throughout your life, no matter what kind of work you do. Then, exercise. 2 very dangerous things. Number 1 is today, thanks to the fact that a lot of our work is to do with computers. Too much of screen time is injurious to health. It's very bad for the eyes. It's very bad for practically everything. And sitting in a chair, no matter how, now this chair of mine is orthopedically designed, it's got lower back support and so on, but no matter what it is, your body was not designed to sit in one place for long periods of time. And believe me, if you are not, time yourself and see if you don't believe me, but if you are working in front of a computer at a desk, the chances are that you are sitting in that chair almost continuously for 6 to 8 hours in a day, and that's far too long. So it's very important to get up and do some exercises, stretches, and also aerobic exercises. Now, whether you do that on a treadmill or on some machine in a gym, or whether, ideally, I would say get out and go for a walk, right? Even in these COVID times, You can go walk out on the street. Unless there is a complete lockdown, in which case do it at home. Just jog on the spot and so on and so forth. But obviously these COVID times are not going to remain forever, inshallah. Once you have your vaccinations and so on, and inshallah you are free. Make sure that you go for nice long walks, and a nice long walk is at least 2 miles, at least about 4 kilometers or so, right? 3.5, 4 kilometers. That much at least you must walk in a day. Ideally speaking, in terms of time, it's about 45 minutes. So 45 minutes of continuous brisk walking, not chatting and strolling, no, brisk walking. Ideally do it by yourself or do it with a friend who also understands that they must keep their mouth shut and they must walk briskly with you. Go to an open place. In Hyderabad, we have this KBR Park, which is very beautiful. My friend Babbi and I, we used to go there quite, almost, both of us went there daily, but sometimes we coordinated our times, and at other times we walked by ourselves. But and here in where I'm living now, it's all very beautiful open country with farms and so on. So make sure that you walk vigorously at least for 45 minutes. And then, of course, whatever else you want to do as exercise, but very important. And then stretch. Make sure your back is bending back and forth. All the kinds of exercise. I don't care what system you use. Any system is fine as long as it is doing what it's supposed to do, which is to give exercise and stretch to your back muscles, especially the back muscles. And I said walk because your legs need to retain their musculature and to retain their muscle strength. Strong legs are the most critical things, especially as you grow older. Weak legs will, and muscle deteriorates. If you're not using it, it degenerates. So weak legs means that you will end up in a wheelchair. You don't want to do that. Believe me, you do not want to do that. So make sure that your legs are strong. The simplest exercises are just sit-ups and push-ups. If you can't do a push-up, and you'll be surprised, and nothing to be ashamed of, if you haven't been exercising your shoulders and arms, you will not be able to rise up from a prone position. So do half a sit-up, which is keep your knees on the ground and then push yourself up until you have enough strength in your shoulders and your arms to be able to do a proper full push-up. And these, you don't need a gym for that. All you need is a floor. You always have a floor. So make sure that you do these exercises. Your skeleton, your body, your muscles are extremely important. And final point here is watch what you eat, because you are sitting the whole time. You are living a practically sedentary life, and whatever you eat converts to sugar and then converts to fat, and it settles. There is nothing romantic about looking like a pregnant cow. So make sure that you control your intake. Now, whether you are on keto or whether you are on intermittent fasting or whatever you are on, it doesn't matter. It's not the fad or the diet. It's to ensure that you eat a balanced meal and that you control the quantities. Both are important. Balanced meal and quantities. Make sure that you do not put on weight, because that is a killer. Quite literally, it is very much a killer. Then, screen time. Working from home does not mean that you have to sit in front of a computer screen the whole time. Any reading that you need to do, please try and read a book, not even Kindle. Try and read a book. I've been using Kindle now for a few years because my friends presented me with one, and also because of my traveling, carrying books, physical books was impractical, so I've been using that. But believe me, the reason I'm saying that is because try and keep your screen time to a minimum. Install your screen time app on your device, which will tell you how many hours you have spent on the screen in a given day, and believe me, that will shock the daylights out of you. So that's important to have that app, so it tells you so many hours on the screen. Whether it's your phone, whether it's your iPad, laptop, tablet, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The fact is, minimize your screen time, right? Try to write by hand, try to read actual books, not your screen. I think I've covered everything except for the last one. The last one is by no means the least important. It is the most important, which is that just as I said, treat your work time seriously. Remember, just because you are physically present in the house does not mean that you are giving time to your family. Your family deserves time. They deserve time much more than your work deserves time. And therefore, you must keep some serious time out for your family in which the work doesn't interfere. As I told you, in your work time, the family must not disturb you. Similarly, in your family time, your work must not intervene, your work must not interfere. Don't take calls during that time. Don't look at anything to do with work during that time. Spend quality time with your family. Sit and talk to them. Don't turn on the TV. Warm bodies before a television, warm bodies looking at a phone does not constitute family time. Family time is with family. Take them out, go out, do projects together, do gardening together, just sit and chat, joke, laugh, pray together, play together. That is how families stay together, right? Those who play together, those who pray together, stay together. So make sure that you give them enough time. Your children, your spouse, they deserve your time. And it is not okay just to say, well, I'm here. No, sorry. So is the chair, so is the dog. The dog gives them far more attention than you do. So please don't do that. Make sure that they get your attention, that they get response, not a distracted response, not a response where you are saying, oh my God, you are here, why are you here? By your response, you are saying, I wish you were not here. Believe me, a day will come when they will not be there. And then don't sit and cry crocodile tears and say, oh, he left me, she left me. Well, that's what you wanted all your life, right? So please, do not give that impression to your spouse. Do not give that impression to your children. Appreciate the fact that they are there with you and show that appreciation. Show that appreciation. It is not enough to say, well, I'm earning for you. Oh, well, I'm after all washing your clothes. I'm after all cooking your food. I'm after all earning for. No, that is not sufficient. Please, not sufficient. They need your emotional time. They need your emotional involvement. They need you to smile. They need you to laugh at their bad jokes. Right? They need you to stick up for them. They need you to sense that you need some. They need you to sense that they need your emotional support, and you give the support before they have to ask for it. Very important. So please understand this, right? Sacrosanct work time, sacrosanct, even more sacrosanct, family time. Prioritizing your work, assessing your work at the end of the day, making sure you're doing lots of physical exercise in between the work so that you take care of your body, minimizing screen time, physically reading books and so on, doing things with your hands like gardening and taking care of pets and so on and so forth, handicrafts, painting, drawing, whatever, right? I think I have covered all of those points. If I missed out something, well, let me ask you to write that in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will practice this, and I hope you will pass it on. Feel free to pass this on to whoever you think needs it. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this is hugely beneficial to you, and I wish you all the very best. Stay safe, wear a mask. I'm talking about COVID times. Stay safe, wear a mask, maintain distance, and stay negative, right? We used to say stay positive, be positive. No, don't be positive, be negative as far as COVID is concerned. Be positive in life, but be negative as far as COVID is concerned. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.